Rise and grind gamers, my name is Tetsyumi and welcome back to another Disgaea RPG Should You Summon. And today we are going to be taking a look at the two brand new units, Summer Desco and Meaver. But not only that, we are also going to be taking a look at the October event schedule because as you guys can probably tell, a little bit later this month, something pretty damn cool and special is going to happen, and it is most likely going to affect if you actually want to summon on, these two units, and if you just want to summon in general, because in my opinion, you probably are going to want to save your gems, but we're going to go ahead and talk about all of that later on. For now, let's just go ahead and talk about some of these new units. And we're going to start off with Summer Desco. And also, by the way, for Summer Desco, I'm probably going to be comparing her just to regular Desco because obviously, they are the same character, so it kind of makes sense to compare them to. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it with Summer Desco. Summer Desco is a monster ally. Her forte is going to be the Claw, and she is of the Rook class. Her stats don't actually look super impressive if you're just taking a first glance at them, but if we go more in depth with her character, and especially once we start getting to some of these skills, her stats are actually looking pretty good. So when we actually go ahead and talk about the stats right now, I'm going to go ahead and compare them with regular Desco just so we can kind of see what's different about them. So yeah, first off, both of them have the same amount of HP, both of them have the same amount of resistance, and pretty much the same speed. Summer Desco is actually 1 faster than regular Desco. Summer Desco is at 51 speed and regular Desco is at 50. And where they really differ is their attack and their intelligence. So Summer Desco, as you can see, only has 32 attack, which is really not that much, but at the same time, for this character, having a lower attack stat doesn't really matter at all, and we're going to go ahead and get to that in a little bit. But yeah, her attack stat is only 32, while regular Desco's is at 40, so that's a pretty big jump. But with that being said, regular Desco's intelligence is only 28, and Summer Desco's is 45, which is pretty big. And then for their attributes, I can't remember, I don't remember if they're the same. Oh, it looks like Summer Desco has a little bit more towards water, 35, and regular Desco only has 25, but other than that, they're the same. Looking at her abilities for Summer Desco, it's her leader skill, intelligence, plus 16% of party monster characters. So basically, the more monster party characters you have in your party, the higher the intelligence gain of your whole party, which is pretty cool. That works out really well for this character, and hopefully, if you have some other characters on your team, that could probably work a little bit better too. At any +1, she gets this waterfall, which is resistance is -15 for all the enemies. Now, I'm not sure if that is just like a full, that'll affect every wave of enemies, but at the very least, that's going to affect negative 15% resistance for the first few enemies you encounter, which is really good, although I'm pretty sure it is for the all waves of anything you're doing. At any +5, she gets this Predator preparations. At the beginning of battle, your initial SP is +25, so, if you have some of these higher SP moves getting down here, you can start saving for them, or maybe just do some better AoE moves, something like that. So that's pretty nice. And then at any +7, she gets this March of the Kaiju. When the party is all monster-type characters, the damage you do with your special move is +55%, which is really good. That is going to be a ton of extra damage, although the downside is obviously this is at any +7, so it's going to be hard to get to, and also every single one of your party members needs to be a monster, which isn't super hard anymore now that there's a lot of good monster characters in the game, but that's still a kind of big commitment, especially if you want to have a more diverse team. Moving on to her skills, this is going to be where her regular stats up here, I think, really shine, because if you guys remember, her intelligence stat is 45, which is a lot. And as you can see down here, with all of her skills, and not only these skills, the magic spells too, all of these skills are dependent on the intelligence stat. So what that means is they're going to do more damage the higher the intelligence stat is. With regular Desco, she has a really high attack stat, and that's because most of her moves depend on the attack stat. So, the higher attack stat, the more damage you're going to do. And Desco is the same, just with intelligence, which is why I think it really doesn't matter that her attack stat is really low, because her intelligence stat is really high. So I think it kind of balances out. She's going to be doing mostly magic intelligence damage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So at level 1, she gets this final boss, SYS. I don't know how to say that, but whatever. So that is a G to F power, and this is just basically an AoE attack that also affects all of the enemies with another additional -3 resistance, which is, pretty cool, especially if you have this resistance up here. So that's going to be, -18 by the time you're done doing this AoE attack, which is pretty good. This on its own is not a ton, but it's still something, so that can help. At level 50, she gets this Surfing Desco, which is an all-party buff. And what this does is it raises the intelligence of everyone in your party by 25% to 40%, which is, again, really good because, like I said, all of her attacks are based off the intelligence stat, so the higher the intelligence stat gets, the more damage you're going to end up doing. At level 200, she gets this Apex Predator Desco, which is just a single target and then a single, whatever this is called, damage calculation with the lower of the enemy's defense/resistance. I'm not gonna pretend I know enough to explain what this does, but basically, it's gonna do a little bit of additional damage to the enemy, so, you know, just take it as it is. It'll be doing a little extra damage. And then at any +3, she gets this Great Ocean, which is just a single target with a single target effect. It's going to be a big attack on an enemy and also lower their resistance by 12, which is, you know, also pretty good. Although, you know, a little bit more of a higher SP cost, which kind of sucks. Moving on to her magic spells, at Mastery 4, she gets Cool, which is just a single target attack, no effects or anything like that. At level 9, she gets this Resist Break, which again is a single target attack, except this time it lowers the enemy's resistance by another 20 to 35%, which is, again, just great. You know, lowering their resistance is going to make you do more damage, which is sick. At Mastery 15, she gets this Mega Cool, which is just an AoE attack of the Cool. Still no status effect, but, you know, AoE attacks are always good. At level 22, she gets this Mega Resist Break, which is pretty much the same thing as this, just, you know, single target attack, lowers their resistance by even more. Then she gets this Giga Cool, which again, just a harder hitting AoE attack, and then she gets Mega Cool at 40, which again, an even harder hitting AoE attack. And then her nether enhancements are all, you know, the normal same stuff for everybody. She gets +30, +10, +30, and then +30 again in the last few levels. So, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let's just go ahead and immediately take a look at the tier list because I'm just going to go ahead and put her on right now. I personally think she is better than regular Desco. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower Desco down 1 and, you know, have her take, have Summer Desco take regular Desco's place in S tier. And the reason is, I just think, you know, she's going to be doing a little more damage. She's going to be doing a little bit more in terms of debuffing the enemy to make your entire team do more damage. So overall, I think she's just a little bit more of a solid unit than regular Desco is in terms of just, like, attack power and supporting your team. So yeah, go ahead and, you know, just move Desco down here. I probably do also need to restructure this tier list a little bit because I definitely see a few characters that I could probably move around or just, you know, reevaluate, but I'm going to do that in my own time. So yeah, again, Desco is going to be put here firmly in S tier. I think she is a great unit. Moving on, we have Meaver now. We don't have anyone to compare her to, as far as I know. She's just going to be her own unit. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Meaver is a humanoid bow forte wielder, and I'm pretty sure this is the queen, like chess piece, like emblem, whatever you would call it. So I think that's queen. Not that it's really going to matter a ton. Looking at her stats, her HP is only 111, which is pretty low. Her attack is 38, which is pretty decent. Her defense is 30. Her intelligence is 26, and her resistance is 40, and her speed is 58. And her speed and resistance, actually, both are pretty good. Moving on, her attributes are going to be no negative towards anything. 25 towards fire, 10 towards water, 25 again towards wind, I'm pretty sure, and 0 towards star, which is, you know, pretty good. Her weapon mastery, again, bow forte, so you're going to be using your bow with her. Her abilities are her leader skill, all out barrage, attack plus 18% if party bow weapon equipped characters. Of party bow weapon equipped characters. So basically, if you have a character that has a bow equipped to them, they're going to be doing 18 additional attack damage, which is pretty good. At any +1, she gets this all range shot. Damage done by the party with a general attack will be plus 15%. So I'm pretty sure this is just, you know, not a skill. Maybe you don't have any SP, you just press the attack button. Yeah, so that's going to be doing 15% more damage, which is, again, pretty good. At any +5, she gets this Hunter's Secret. At the end of the turn, your action gauge gets plus 200, which, you know what, I will obviously take. That is similar to what New York Rosalind does, which is pretty good. Just a bit more speed at the end of your turn. And then at any +7, she gets this Hunter Trap. At the beginning of the turn, the enemy character with the fist action gauge is attack or defense reduced by 18%. So, I'm sorry, I actually don't really know what this means. The enemy character with the first... with the first action gauge. I thought that said fist action gauge. So basically, the enemy character who has the most speed pretty much on the enemy team, they're going to be doing less attack damage and also have less defense by 18%. So that is really good. I didn't understand that when I said it the first time. Although sadly that only lasts for one turn. And I'm not sure if it like refreshes, if you're switching between like wave 1 or wave 2 and all that stuff. But this still sounds pretty good. Just a little bit of extra, damage, a little bit of extra, I guess less hit power of the enemy. So it's not too bad. Moving on to her skills, at level 1, she gets this Summer Bungle, and this is just a party buff of defense plus 25 to plus 40. At level 200, she gets this Summer Rescue, which is a single attack and also a single buff. Actually debuff, a single debuff and a single attack. That will just lower the enemy's speed by 10%. Then at any plus 3, she gets this Typhoon Warning, which is an AoE attack and also a party buff, giving everyone attack plus 30%. And also all of these two at least, looks like these down here are not, but these two are based off her attack stat, which if we remember up here is 38, so pretty good. Moving on to her magic spells, at Mastery 4, she gets Mahi, which is just a single target attack and also adds a paralysis effect, which is really good, basically just completely stunning one of the enemies in place. At Mastery level 9, she gets this Braveheart, which is just an ally buff, giving them attack of plus 20 to plus 35% again. At Mastery 15, she gets Mega Wind, which is just an AoE attack. At Mastery 22, she gets Mega Braveheart, which is again... Oh, no, sorry. I was about to say an AoE attack. This is, again, an ally buff that gives them attack plus 40 to plus 55%. At Mastery 30, she gets Mahuge, which is just another single target attack that also gives them the Forgetting effect. Not sure what that does. Pretty sure that makes them not be able to use skills, which is, pretty good. I'll take that. And then at Mastery 40, she gets Mega Mahi, which is an AoE attack and adds the paralysis effect to presumably all of the enemies, which, again, really good. And then her nether enhancements are all pretty much the same. So, where would I actually go ahead and put Meaver in the tier list? I think I would honestly probably put Meaver in either like high A or S tier, and the reason is, I'm just going to put it right here for now, but the reason is, she is just honestly a pretty solid support unit. Like, as you can see, she's lowering the enemy's defense of the party, she is lowering their speed, she's increasing the defense of the party and lowering the enemy's speed. She can also, increase the attack of the party, she can add paralysis effects, and also forgetting, what am I saying? She's easily going in S tier, because she is a insane support unit. I think she would be, very useful on her team, just a ton of attack boosts, paralysis, forgetting. She's doing a little bit of defense too, lowering the enemy's speed by a bit. Overall, I think she is just a pretty solid support unit. I wouldn't really put her anything past that. I don't think she's going to be a huge damage dealer, although her attack stat is pretty good. I think mainly if I was going to put her on my team personally, I would mostly have her just kind of for support, because I would, rather have more harder hitting units like the any of the Badass Festival units as kind of the main hitter, and then she would just kind of be here for support. So yeah, there we go. These two units, we go ahead and put a little bit back here. Summer Desco and Meaver, I think both are going to be solidly in the S tier. I think both of these units are honestly pretty good. I would honestly recommend summoning for them if it wasn't for what I'm about to talk about right now. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys back over to the event schedule for October, because you probably, already know what's going to go down for this month. But as you can see down here, we got little mini chibi Meliotis, because on the 14th, we are actually starting the collaboration event with the 7 Deadly Sins. And that means a lot of things, like special battles, character XP up events, login bonus, but also free summons, and obviously the 7 Deadly Sins banner summons. So, would I actually recommend you summon for these characters instead of these, like the 7 Deadly Sins characters? I can't actually say yet. But the good news is, as you can see down here, the banner for the Swimsuit Desco and Meaver is actually going to be overlapping a little bit with the collaboration summons for the 7 Deadly Sins. So here's what I would do. Personally, I would recommend waiting until the 7 Deadly Sins characters come out. I would, if you want them more, you can go ahead and just fully skip on these banners, or if you don't want them at all, you can go ahead and, summon for Desco or whatever. But I would personally wait and see, if these characters are going to be good, if you want to summon on them, and then if you don't, you could always just go ahead and go back on the Desco banner, because it's still going to be here for, it looks like another, around 5 days past when the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration banner goes live. So yeah, that is what I'm going to go ahead and recommend. I would personally wait until the collaboration with 7 Deadly Sins comes out and the banner comes out for that. Save your gems, you know, review both characters, decide which characters you actually want to summon on, because I haven't really looked at the 7 Deadly Sins characters a ton, but from what I looked at them just a little bit, they seem really, really good. And if you don't believe me, we can go ahead and take a look at the Disgaea Database. I already went ahead and typed in Desco, so as you can see, here is Summer Desco right here. She's classified on the JP side of things as an SS tier, with, you know, her intelligence stat being the highest. And we can also go ahead and type in Meaver and see where they put her. They put her in A tier, which, fair enough, she's not an attacker. I can definitely see that, but I still feel like she deserves S tier, at least for support. But then we can also go ahead and look at Meliotis. If I can spell right, which I definitely can. So here we go. Looking at Meliotis, his stats are just like pretty good. He has really high HP, he has pretty good attack and also defense. Also, you know, because he's just a collab unit in general, his banner is unlikely to reoccur, or at least, you know, not for maybe like a year or something. Or possibly not at all. So they went ahead and classified him as an SS tier. But, you know, with that being said, I'm going to probably do my full breakdown and, like, should you summon on all the 7 Deadly Sins collab characters later on, probably closer to when they come out. So, if you really, you know, don't know who to summon for, I would go ahead and be on the lookout for that video. But, yeah, guys, with that being said, that is pretty much it. If you want to summon on Desco, if you want to summon on Meaver, I don't think it's a terrible idea, because I do think these two units are pretty good, but at the same time, I think it's just way smarter if you go ahead and wait for the 7 Deadly Sins collab, because, you know, even just because they're collab characters, they're probably going to be pretty strong. So yeah, I would go ahead and wait for that, and you have a little bit of time if you do want to wait, because their banner is going to stay and overlap a little bit with the 7 Deadly Sins banner. So, I'm going to stop rambling. That is it. These guys are, I think, in S tier. If you don't believe me, or if you have any opinions on it, let me know in the comments. Do you think they should be higher? Do you think they should be lower? Yeah, just let me know. And like I said, that is going to be it, guys. So thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you really liked it. And yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. Peace.